What is going on, everybody? WeedleTwineedle here, and we are back again with an Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon Wi-Fi battle, and this one's going to be a PU tier battle against Pablo, a person I battle off my Discord server. Now, before we get into this Wi-Fi battle, if you guys are enjoying my Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon Wi-Fi battle content and want to support my channel and its growth, let me know by leaving a like on the video, as it keeps me inspired to put out these daily uploads for you guys, and it's always appreciated. I really appreciate the support you guys have been giving me recently. It means the world to me. Now, Shaniqua is packing a triple water core using a lightning rod seeking because one of my subscribers literally begged me to use lightning rod seeking, so I decided to humor him and use lightning rod seeking. Unfortunately though, my opponent has a very annoying team. My team, having triple water types, facing, Lantern and Lilligant is not a great matchup for Shaniqua, so we're already put behind before we even got into the battle, so that's pretty bad for us. I decided to lead off with my Swanna because I was expecting my opponent to lead off with a Regirock, but he leads off with this Primate because leading off with a Choice Scarfer isn't really a bad call because you can U-turn out on an unfavorable matchup, and I see lead Primate all the time, so it's not really too surprising to lead off with Primate. Gonna bring in my throw here, expecting U-turn or Stone Edge or a way to hit my Swanna, as we're able to predict that correctly. Bring in my throw as we're able to activate Flame Orb, and now my opponent is not going to want to stay in here because Scarf Primate is very important to keep for my team. So now he's going to bring this Toxic Testes here, the very original nickname for the Weezing. I'm not too sure why everybody feels the need to nickname their Weezing after something testicle or testicular related, but they do it anyways. I guess it's because it looks like an upside down pair of balls, but whatever, I'm not going to judge. Now my opponent actually ends up carrying Taunt. I thought he wanted to go for Haze, but I guess Taunt is also a move, but I decided to go for Bulk Up anyway just because I'm a greedy little bitch, and I thought he wanted to go for T-Spikes or something, so I probably should have definitely went for Knockoff on that turn, but I was just playing a little bit greedy. My opponent now is going to lay up a layer of Toxic Spikes with his Weezing, and now I'm going to go for the +1 Guts boosted Adamant, max attack knockoff, and it doesn't even do half to Weezing, and that doesn't show how bulky Weezing is. I'm not too sure what does, because Weezing is honestly a monster. It's so freaking bulky, it's insane. Now I'm going to switch out, expecting my opponent to go for a Sludge Bomb, and then I'm going to bring my Swamp Bread, because I need to defog away these Toxic Spikes, as my opponent decides to actually lay up a second layer of Toxic Spikes. In this situation, I would think one layer would be enough, but since I do have Pokemon like Musharna and stuff like that, I can understand why he want to get up 2 layers, especially since I have no poison types on my team, so once he gets up those Toxic Spikes, they are here to stay. Unfortunately, that's not the case for him because I do have Defog, as I knew he was going to switch into his Lantern there 100%, because Lantern literally ruins Swanna's hopes and dreams of being a Pokemon because it resists my dual stab and it just knocks me out with Volt Switch. So predicting said Volt Switch or Thunderbolt or Thunder Wave, I'm going to bring in my Lick Outlets here, expecting the electric type attack, as we're able to get that play correctly, absorb it thanks to Lightning Rod, and I'm confident that Lantern really can't touch me, so I figure he's going to switch out. I wasn't sure into what, but I knew he was going to switch out, predicting Drill Run or something, or Toxic, so I decided to go for Scald because I'm actually Choice Dex Seeking with, Lightning Rod, because when you get the Lightning Rod boost, you actually reach a decent special attacking stat, so you can actually do damage, so that was the idea behind the set. I also have Z Rain Dance Swanna to support this, though when I use Z Rain Dance Swanna with Seeking, I'm about to get Swift Swim, and then I realized you can't have Swift Swim and Lightning Rod, so I decided to stick with Lightning Rod. I wanted to use Swift Swim Seeking, but I guess we'll have to stick with Lightning Rod. But now, gonna bring my Munchlax, expecting Sleep Powder, or literally anything Lilligant wants to go for, because Munchlax, even though Lilligant is a massive threat, Munchlax just checks it very nicely. Now my opponent brings in Shofu's Boner.
Hello?
Interesting. That's quite an impressive big name you got there, buddy. Gonna bring in my Cutest Ball, expecting him to double switch. I mean, if he brought in Primate there, that would have been pretty bad for me, but I want to get up my Stealth Rocks, as my opponent has the same idea as me. We got to get up our broken Stealth Rocks because it's been 10 turns and Stealth Rocks have not been applied yet, so this isn't actually a competitive Pokemon battle unless there's Stealth Rocks on the field. So we did fix that very quickly. We did exchange the Stealth Rocks, nice and mutual exchange for Stealth Rocks, and now I'm going to expect my opponent to go for Toxic, bring in my Lick Outlets, as my opponent actually goes for Thunder Wave. I totally predicted that, by the way, 100%. Predicted that. Yep, totally. No, I actually didn't predict that, but I do predict my opponent to switch out, expecting no Surf or Scald, and bring in his Lantern yet again, so I decide to go for the Hidden Power Grass, because I do have the Lightning Rod boost, so I want to see how much damage I can do to Lantern, as it does literally nothing, and I'm like, wow. But Hidden Power Grass looks like a 3-hit KO, so I'm fine with trading Seaking's life for Lantern's life, because that means Swanna can actually potentially do something, and then Corsola isn't forced out by Lantern. So he's going to bring in his lovely Kush yet again. Nice 420 nickname, by the way. I can respect that.
Smoke weed every day.
Now I'm going to Hidden Power Grass, do 0 damage because he just resists it. And now my opponent switches out, predicting me to bring in my Munchlax, but I decided to stay in here, expecting him to just predict my switch and go for Hidden Power Grass again. That play was totally unnecessary and very aggressive, but I decided to play aggressive. I decided to play on the edge as we're able to weaken the Primeape for a decent amount. And now I'm going to switch out, expecting my opponent to go for close combat, bring in my Musharna. If he goes for U-turn, that'd be pretty annoying, but we do switch into close combat successfully. As my opponent, I figured he'd want to play it safe after just switching his Primeape into a Hidden Power Grass. He probably thought I would double switch, which is, you know, what I would have done, but I thought he was thinking that, so I was able to get that play correctly, and he decided to play it safe because I punished him for playing aggressively, so I can see why he was close combat there, and I was just trying to explain my opponent's play. But now, I am playing so aggressively this battle, holy crap, I'm making up for my last battle where I played like a pussy. Gonna double switch into my, oh yes, daddy, my throw, as he brings in a Skuntank. Now, Skuntank is pretty much the one Pokemon that is destroying, or stopping Musharna from, you know, setting up. So I brought in my throw expecting his, Skuntank to come in, and even if he wants to like preserve his Skuntank, I still get a free kill here because, you know, Guts boosted superpower, even though it didn't do damage to Weezing. This is still like throw with Guts and stuff, so we're able to knock out the Skuntank after living a poison jab. That was beautiful. I expected to die from that, but throw comes through with its, you know, nice base defenses, so we're able to knock out the Skuntank, which is brilliant for me because now Musharna doesn't have to worry about that dark type, you know, cock blocking its stored power, so that's good for us. So we can potentially win with Musharna later on in the game, which is nice. Now here, I make a quite questionable play. I bring in my Munchlax on the double down when I knew he was going to bring in his Primeape. I know I'm like, there's no way he's going to close combat. I'm obviously switching up. My opponent predicted me to predict him, to predict me to switch out. I think I said that right. I may have added an extra predict me. But either way, he does make the right play and knocks out my Munchlax, so good play on his part. Now I'm going to bring in my Swanna here because I know he's locked in the close combat, and now he's going to be forced out because he wants to preserve his Primeape most likely, so he's going to full switch into Lit, the Lantern. And I do have Z Rain Dance on the Swanna, so I'm actually going to decide to go for Z Rain Dance because I thought that, you know, Swanna, with, you know, modest and, you know, stab water type attacks, I should be able to just deal with this Lantern because it is weakened, and if Swanna can get off a sweep, that'd be pretty nice. So I'm going to go for Z Rain Dance here. And with Z Rain Dance, it actually gives you a speed boost, so now the Primeape cannot outspeed me. And I'm hoping with, you know, the Rain and, you know, Stab Surf, we should be able to knock out this Lantern, because Hidden Power Grass didn't really do that much damage, but it's Seeking we're talking about. This is Swanna, so I'm going to go for Stab Surf and the Rain just to see how much damage we're going to do. As, of course, Lantern lives with red health because this is a Soft Vest Lantern, my opponent told me, so it's no wonder a Soft Vest Lantern just doesn't die. As now, he actually goes for Volt Switch and knocks out my, you know, Swanted Bread, which is kind of unfortunate. If I brought in my Seeking there and gotten another Lightning Rod boost, that would have been sick, but I didn't think he'd actually go for Volt Switch, honestly. That was a little bit aggressive on my part, though. I'm playing a little bit too aggressively in this game, not gonna lie, so playing a little bit on the edge, but that's how you have fun in Pokemon. But now, bringing in my Musharna as my opponent brings in the Primeape on the Volt Switch, and now he's going to go for U-turn. Now, he abused that Volt turn coverage, but unfortunately for my opponent, he's going to walk in to my weakness policy. I always have to change my tone when I say that because I feel like it's just part of the weakness policy meme. Now my opponent's going to U-turn out and bring in his his Lantern as Death Fodder because he doesn't want to take a stored power or anything of the sort, so I can understand that much. Now goes the Lantern, as I actually decided to go for the Moonlight. Now there's one thing I forgot to take into consideration when I put this team together, and it's that Moonlight gets reduced healing when you have Rain on the field, so I heal like no health from that, and now my opponent brings in the Lilligant, and I'm like, wow. Maybe I should not have brought a Rain Dance Swanna on this team. Maybe
yes.
I should have thought of a better Pokemon to put on this team, but hey, what can you do? Sometimes, you know, gods make mistakes. I'm not saying I'm a god, but, you know, I am a god, low-key. Now, I decided to, like, choke on, like, big stealth attacks, and I bring in my Corsola on the Lilligant, expecting Sleep Powder or the normal Z move with, you know, Z Hyper Beam, because I've also seen that in the past, but he goes for Quiver Dance, and I'm like, oh, it's GG. I'm totally gonna die to Giga Drain. Even with the Rendo Berry, there's no way Corsola lives this. But Corsola is going to live at 17 health as we're able to just face tank that. That was really nice on Corsola's part because, of course, Corsola does have the Mirror Coat, so we're able to shine the mirror in the Lilligant's face and knock him out with the Mirror Coat. So that was so clutch on Corsola's part. Props to you, Corsola. Let's give that a round of applause. That was beautiful. And now my opponent's going to bring in the Atheist here, the Primeape, yet again. I do decide to sack off my Corsola because keeping it at this point is kind of useless. If he goes for close combat and locks us up in the close combat, he pretty much gives my Musharna a free win. I know switching out with weakness policy was really questionable. I should have probably just stored Power the Lilligant, but I thought he wanted to go for Sleep Powder. Like, honestly, that play was so bad on my part. Like, it should not have worked out, honestly. We are going to skillfully dodge that Stone Edge, thanks to Seaking. You know, just using Seaking just allows you to dodge Stone Edges left and right. And down goes the Apist to the Hydro Pump, which is pretty nice for me. And now my opponent's going to bring out the Shofu's Boner here, the Regirock. I'm not too sure what was going through my opponent's head when he nicknamed this Regirock, but it was nothing good, that's for sure. Maybe he was looking at my thumbnails or something. But I'm going to go for the Specs Hydro Pump and knock out the Regirock. And Seaking actually got like 3 kills in this game, so hey, I'm not complaining. Props to you, Seaking, dude. Seaking actually did a lot of work in this game, so I hope the person that begged me to use Lightning Rod Seaking was satisfied with this battle, as I don't plan on bringing it back anytime soon. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this Wi-Fi battle against Pablo. As that was a pretty fun battle, got to showcase, you know, Lightning Rod Seaking. I did not really get to use much Locks, so I kind of threw it away against the Prime because I was expecting my opponent to U-turn out, but hey, you know, sometimes you make misplays in the battle and it is what it is. But I hope you guys enjoyed the Wi-Fi battle. If you guys enjoyed this Ultra Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle content and really want to support my channel, let me know by leaving a like on the video, as it's much appreciated as always. And yeah, the question of the day is going to be, which Pokemon would you guys like to see me use in my future uploads? Let me know in the comments down below if there's a certain Pokemon you'd like to see me use for my future uploads. I felt like I just repeated myself there, but that's the question. And if you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments below. And if you see a suggestion you also like and want to see me use, feel free to thumbs up or comment, as you know, it lets me know which sets people really want to see, or you know, just spam the same sets in the comments that other people post. But either way, that'll work, because I just like seeing what people want me to use, and it's a great way to interact with my fan base. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below which Pokemon you'd like to see me use in my future uploads. Feel free to include a moveset and EV spreads, by the way, as that's always needed for Pokemon movesets. But of course, thank you guys so much for watching till the end of the video. I'll check you guys next time. Bye!